Good evening, Youth Apprenticeship students. I wanted to show you how to get your Youth Apprenticeship checklist completed digitally if you're unable to get back to work, see your mentor in person. For whatever reason, you need to get it done digitally. You're going to go into mydcsc.com. You're going to click on Resources, and you're going to go to Youth Apprenticeship Checklist. You can also go to Student Resources. It's there too, but this is the easiest way for you to get there. Once you click on Youth Apprenticeship Checklist, you're going to get lots of options. Ignore the big program areas because that gives you every single pathway in there. What you want to do is find your specific pathway that you're working in and get that checklist. Let's use nursing assistant, for example. So I'm going to click the link, and it's going to take me to the web page of where it's located. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to click download, and I'll allow it to save where I want it. So I'm going to go put it in my downloads area, and I'm going to save that. Health nursing assistant. Yep, I already have one. So I've now downloaded it and saved that. Good to go. The next thing I'm going to do is go to DocHub. Now, I'm hoping I'm not logged in. I might be. For most of you, you're going to be able to use your school account. I'm going to log out. And so for many of you, when you get there, you're going to see this page. You can sign with your Google, and if you have your school account, it'll automatically connect right away. So when you click on that, it'll ask to connect what account do you want to connect. I'm happy to use my DCSC. So now what you're going to do is you're going to upload your new Youth Apprenticeship checklist. So I'm going to click on Import a New Document from my computer. Even if you have a Chromebook, this will still work. It'll take you to your downloads. Health Nursing Assistant, we're good to go. And now it's letting me put in the PDF and fully be able to edit it. So this is a nice piece to where I just click on the text icon and I start typing my name and say, okay, what's my ID number? Good news, none of you have one. You can write NA, ignore it, leave it blank, doesn't matter. What consortium are we in? Technically, we're in South Central, and we are in Dane County. If you forget that or don't know it, it's fine if you leave it blank. I'll fill it in when you get turned into me. When you graduate, June of 2020. Your school district is important, the best one ever. And apparently, you're all state champions this year. So, we go into what area to complete. We talked about nursing. Oh, I don't want to do it A. I want to do it a little checkbox. One thing you want to double check, see how large the size went? To put that down to normal font size, and I can check nursing assistant. I've also done my core and safety, and this is what I'm submitting. So I'm going to say I'm doing it in my required skills, my level 1 year, my 2 semesters of instruction, and I have my 450 hours. Now, if it comes down here and I don't have 450, we can't check this box, right? So we're going to get rid of that. If I don't have 450, I just leave that one blank. I'll turn that in. You'll email me or you'll email your school coordinator when you hit that number. So for now, we're going to go back. Let's put in your company. Where are you working? The best one ever. What is their phone number? 555-1212. Then we go in and we have our worksite mentor signature page. This is where we want to have your mentors who worked with you at work. Now that could be your HR person. It could also be the nurse who is on call every shift you worked. They were your mentor and they're going to sign off on your skills. Technically, you only need to have one mentor sign, but if you have 3 people, have them all sign. They'll all feel really good about it, and you'll have no problem. So, first thing, let's start with our instructors. Every instructor you had for the related program has to be in here. That means at least 2 for a level 1 or 4 for a level 2, depending on how many teachers, how many courses you had, etc. Could be up to 4. So for the first one, if you did quality CNA, that would be Pauline Kipke from Quality CNA. And what was she? She was your CNA instructor. Okay, and then you might have so our next person will be our medical terminology instructor. And we'll use Mr. Hibner for that. Then we'll also need to put in our mentor. So who is our mentor? Ms. Everson. And who is she? She's our mentor nurse lead. So I've already added them in here. So we have to figure out who are the people who need to sign this. So we're going to go to people. And I need to add Ms. Kipke. So I'm going to put in Kipke. Now her email is already in my program because I've already had it working. You're going to have to be able to copy and paste people's emails in here. And I've added. Now I have my people who I need to sign my document, and I have my sections. What I need is signatures and dates. So I have to figure out who goes where. We put those signatures in. I've already formatted my boxes to fit. They're really easy draggable, and once you create one, it's automatically set up to be the right size for you. I also need to put those dates back in. I want date fields. So we're going to put those date fields in. That'll automatically date code when each one of them sign it. So now we need to go, okay, Pauline has to be assigned to this section. All I have to do is click on Pauline, and it is a required field, which means we can't complete the document without her signature. Mr. Hibner, we're going to assign him here, and the date has to be assigned to Mr. Hibner too. So we have to go, Mr. Hibner has that field, Miss Pauline Kipke has our date field here. We have Miss Everson, and she's going to get our date field there. All right, and so now we've assigned the roles for each one of our people who have helped us with our youth apprenticeship program. Next, we need to be able to allow them to edit and give me ratings. So the best way to do this is to, if you go into prepare sign request, you can turn on annotation. That allows your mentor, most importantly, our instructors don't typically need to, but in a couple occasions, you'll have the instructor approve some things, and I'll show you that in a minute. So now that we've created those annotations, it will allow them to have access to the checkbox and texting when the assignment comes to them for the signature. So we keep scrolling down. We'll cover our ratings. Remember, every item at a level 2 or 3 to be considered a completer for youth apprenticeship. All right, when we get into the required skills area, a couple things. We need your CNA number. Again, you can just go to the text box, type that in, and where did you do your clinicals? Just remember the location of that home is what's supposed to go in here. Again, 2s or 3s in every required item. Now, we get down to CPR. Your mentor is not going to sign off on that. Well, Miss Kipke can sign on that. And because we allowed Miss Kipke to be able to edit, we can do that. Additionally, if I want to make it easier for her, I can put in a checkbox option, and I can just say, okay, these 2 checkboxes I'm going to assign to Miss Kipke. Unfortunately, my video is in the way. And so I'm going to assign that to Miss Kipke. Now it is not required, so I'm going to make sure that's left open so that she can choose which of these does she want to give me, a 2 or a 3. It's pretty straightforward if you have your CPR certification. If you don't have someone who can sign off that, your local school coordinator could sign off that if you've done it at your school. However, you got that CPR certification, because 99% of the time our students don't get that done at work. Then you'll want to get 8 other check boxes if you're a level 1. If you're a level 2, you want 16 out of this list. Again, these are all choose from the above, so you don't have to write on anything that you didn't complete. They can just check them off. And again, by putting that annotation in, they'll be able to go on, put them on there. If you went to any seminars, any trainings, definitely put them in this area. You can do that prior to submitting it. You'll just create a little text box, and you can start typing for what you did, when you did it. And the signature could be your own. So in this case, I already have my signature loaded in, so I already put it. Or the signature could actually be your manager. So if you want your mentor to be on there, you're like, oh, I need to also add my mentor, who in this case happens to be Miss Evers, and I want her date to put in here of when she signed that she actually did that with me, and we're good to go, and that'll be Miss Evers as well. All right. What date did I go? You would put that in, right? So you wouldn't need to have that. You would actually put the text in for when did I go, November 2019. The more you put in here, the more that goes on your resume, the more you'll remember it for long-term posterity. It'll be really helpful. A couple other pieces. At the end is, are you going to keep working? So again, fill in your student information. Your name, your school district, your high school completion. Again, 6 of 2020. We don't need specifics. GPA. Leave this blank. because we'll get it from your school when you graduate this summer. Speaking of graduating, what is your employment start date? If you graduated on June 6th, your employment start date is going to be June 7th, 2020, if you're staying with your employer. What are you doing? Are you going to be working full-time or part-time? As of June 7th, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be working full-time this summer. Well, not really. I'm going to be still working part-time hours this summer and continue on. Okay, then we're part-time. Are you still with your same employer? Yep. Am I still in the same field? Yep. Is it seasonal intermittent? Sure. And I am also going to college, whatever schooling that looks like to you. You might be going to a registered apprenticeship in medical assisting. That'd be fantastic. If you choose to leave your current employer but want to stay in an employment within the same area, you could go to a different employer, but typically we don't use that because most of our students are either continuing with their employer or not. So that's that area. If you are not continuing with that employer, mostly because you didn't get your hours until August 15th of the summer, and then you have to go, okay, on August 16th, I will not be employed because I plan on going off to school. So I choose that. I did not apply, but a better option instead of I did not apply is my employer liked me enough to keep me. I was offered continuing employment, but I did not accept. Why? Because I was going off to school. Those are the two most likely options that students will fill out here. Please write that down. If you decided you're not going to work there because you chose a different career, no problem at all. Mostly we care is that this box gets highlighted because that creates a positive outcome. If your employer won't check that, we have a problem, and you most likely weren't completing the youth apprenticeship, or they kept you on long enough just to get you through and get you out the door. But we're hoping that your employer will be able to accept that box. You can pre-fill this with a conversation with your employer, and then again, you're going to create a signature request. So mentor signature, in this case, again, in my case, it's Miss Evers. She gets another box signed to her. Everything else, let's make it easier on them. Let's type in their information. Let's type in their company, right? The best company ever. And the date, I can put a date field in here and assign it to Miss Everson, and that'll happen when she goes to complete my document. I'm now ready to send this out. I can go to prepare sign request. I'm letting those people edit. I'm not letting Mr. Hibner, although I should, just in case. I don't need him. He actually can be removed from this document. I'm ready to go. I have 3 unassigned fields. Who are they? Well, those are some of those boxes we forgot to check. We'll put those all to Miss Everson. We're ready to go. We have all our people who can edit and annotate the document, and they're all going to get an email. Now, do I want to have to sign them in order? In this case, it probably doesn't matter on what order they sign in order to approve those things. So you could do all at once, and everyone's going to get an email that says, hey, you should sign on this document. When they're all... Another piece you want to consider is the options. This is what the email is going to look like. So they don't know that your name's not in here. So I would put in your name and say, will you please sign on my YA checklist, right? And put your name up in the email. That is the email that will go out to everybody. And when it's done, it'll come back to you with an attached PDF with everybody's signatures. You forward that PDF on to your school coordinator, and you're good to go. I hope this was a helpful video in these times of uncertainty and challenge. The good news is everyone's going to get a little bit better at technology as you go out to finish your year super strong. So congratulations with your youth apprenticeship program. I'm glad you've made it this far, and I wish you the best of luck in your future. If you have any questions, feel free to email me in our office, and we'd be happy to help you walk through any of these parts and strategies to be successful. Take care and have a good night.